I think a good theme for our conversation this week would be to just talk about gratitude. What are we thankful for, personally, professionally, and so on? I'll kick it to you.
I love it. First off, Jeff, thankful for our friendship. My goodness, we've known each other and done this for years, and just grateful for the possibility of connecting with people anywhere in the world and creating real relationships and friendships. I've really learned over the last several years how important a gratitude mindset is. Life's got a lot of its ups and downs. I would say for me personally, this was the most challenging year of my life. And I've been through a lot in my life and in my career. So to say that is pretty profound, but to be able to take some of that in stride and sometimes to, slow it down moment to moment or decision by decision. And still to be grateful for all the other wonderful things that are going on in my life, that has really helped me to get through. And what I'm most grateful for is people, family, my church, friends and mentors, managers, people that I've been able to work with, colleagues. We work with a very robust group of partners and people globally, and so I'm very thankful for that. Also grateful for experiences. This has been a year rich of experiences, and to be able to look back and, I got a promotion this year, got a new job, won one of our company's biggest awards. And then we got a new pet. I interviewed the guy who wrote and created the movie and the book Cocktail. And then my show Social Selling 2.0 really took off. We had a lot of amazing guests. And then I also got to present to my company's CEO and senior leadership team, which is unbelievable. Plus, we hit our highest stock price in history this week. So it's been a great year from that perspective. One of our guests this year on Social Selling 2.0 is Anthony Iannarino, great author of sales books. And he presented on there talking about one of his new books, but also the importance of a gratitude mindset as well. And he got me into a practice. And recently I wrote a letter to my oldest daughter and talked about this exact lesson. And what it was all about is, spending 2 weeks, even just 2 weeks minimum, writing at minimum 3 things per day that happened that were good and why they happened. It is chemically proven to be better than any substance for your chemical makeup. And the reason why is because it really reinforces the great things that are happening, but also why they happened. There were some themes that I gleaned from that. When I look back at the great things that were happening, there were some things that were seeds that I had planted years ago, relationships that I had created years ago, and they were now bearing fruit. Another big thing that jumped out at me is that on my worst days, I actually had the most good things that happened. 6, 7 good things that happened on what I would have deemed my worst days. So it really frames up that perspective of how important that can be. So when I think about gratitude mindset, I think of two final parting things. Number one, thank somebody, at least somebody this week, for the impact that they've had on your life. It will go a long way, because I always have to tell you, when people tell me of the impact that I've had on their life or on their career, it means a great deal to me. So thank somebody this week. So I'm thanking you, Jeff, but I'll find somebody else as well. But the other thing too is that it really helps you become centered to yourself. What matters to you, what you're grateful for, and it changes everything about you. When you have that gratitude mindset, you have that ability to sit in moments and have increased resilience. You have better relationships with people because you're leading with gratitude instead of leading with self, and that has a lot of additional ramifications on your outlook and on your mental and your physical well-being. So that's what I'm grateful for this Thanksgiving week. What about you?
Thanks, Carson. That was great. Tough act to follow. That was a lot of really good stuff. I'll reciprocate, say I'm really thankful for our friendship and relationship as well. Feel like it was great meeting you in person this year. That was pretty awesome. I think similar to you, I've had a tough year as well in a lot of different ways, but as you pointed out, you find the silver lining in all of these moments. And, for me, one of those has been that I'm, on the lookout for a new role, and my network really stepped up big time. I was really pleasantly surprised and overwhelmed when I kind of shared that I was onto a new opportunity that so many people that I didn't even really know, that had just been like kind of following my content, really were like wanting to help out or even endorse me. They hardly even really knew me. And to me, that was just, so nice. I'm very grateful, I think, even for when I get positive feedback from people I haven't spoken to in a long time that are saying like, hey, love some of the blogs you've been writing or some of the content you've been putting out there. People that I just like don't even know are kind of like following. So I'd say my network has been huge. Um, Definitely grateful for my family, my parents. I'm publishing a second book in February. It's like, short stories, but that book is dedicated to my parents because really without them, there would really be no opportunity for me to to have done this. And then last but not least, my wife and I are expecting our first child any day now, really. And I'd say very grateful to her. I mean, she's done a wonderful job throughout the entire pregnancy. It's the first time for her. It's very scary for her. It's obviously a lot of inconvenience, to say the least. And she's been really good about it. She's been very positive. She's been very on top of things. You should see our nursery. I mean, 95% of the effort there came from her. So she's been a great partner, and I'm very thankful, grateful for her as well. So that's it for me.
Fantastic. I love it. So I think to sum up, leading with gratitude and also being able to reflect on what we're grateful for, even amidst challenging or tough times, is all the more important. And we find out in those moments who we can really lean on and rely on. I've certainly learned this year how much I can rely on my wife and on my parents, and even on to your point, people that come out and show up when you're going through dark times. I've been pleasantly surprised by some of the relationships that have even been rekindled amidst some of the tough times that my family and I have gone through this year. So, happy Thanksgiving week to all listeners, and why don't you post what you're grateful for in the comments, or feel free to tag some people that you're wanting to thank this week. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Carson.